how to use OBS, the need to know stuff. You can have a full wide view video. You can have a snack time overlay, and that looks really nice in live shows. You can have a guest, if special guests come in chat, you can have a little pop-ups on the screen. This is all within OBS, and I'm using the Stream Deck. You don't have to use a Stream Deck. I don't prefer using a Stream Deck. I'll show you later in the video another way of doing this, which is cheaper and more reliable. Have a look in the chapters and you can see the section you're interested in and jump to that. In this session, I'm going to show you how you can make your OBS nice and easy to use to speed up everything. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, I've got OBS open over here. You'll see OBS is a program. You can download it. I'll do a separate video about that. Once you've got it open, once you've got it downloaded, there's a few things I'm going to teach you that you can just do straight away to start using it. Nothing extra. Here is a scene. You can have multiple scenes. In this example right now, you're looking at my webcam with a monitor capture. This is another scene, which is just my camera. There's another scene here, which is webcam and top-down camera. Then I've got another zoom here. These are all scenes that I can switch between. So for example, I've done it as a separate scene because I can have a hotkey. So I can change like I'm doing right now. This is one take. I'm not going to hopefully edit this. That's look at the left because we normally do a podcast here. Back to screen there. So you'd have multiples of those. So think of this as, let me show you what I mean. Duplicate. So scene 1 could be this. When you go to scene 2, it could be this. You can have multiples. And in the sources, think of it like a folder. And then inside the folder, you've got things going on. So what would that be an example of? So in scene, you've got this scene, like for example, here. In sources, you could have a list of things that you want. So for example, you've seen here now, that timer come on. You can see here, snack time. That's a source which shows within the scene. So think of the scene as the folder. So you can have multiple folders. And in the folder, when you open it up, you can have loads of things, which are the sources. That's something that is very important. If you figure that out, you can have multiple screens and then you can have, fancy changes and stuff. And it looks really nice on a live stream or even a video. For the last 6 or 7 years, I have been recording my videos into OBS directly and not editing them. So imagine that saves you hours of time. So that's one thing to keep an eye on. Next up here on the right side, you've got audio mixer. You can see it says desktop audio there. So if I play something on my desktop as music, for example, so music playing now, that's desktop audio. But in the OBS that I'm showing you on screen, there is no microphone that I use. So in sources, I can go add. I want to make a microphone. So that would be an audio input capture. Audio input capture, select that, and that I already have one called mic, but let's do another one just so we can see it. If I call it mic and do OK, you'll get a pop-up screen which allows you to select a mic from the drop down, such as this. So you'll see here I've got a microphone on my webcam. I've got an interface. If I put it as the microphone on my webcam or my computer, if you have a mic on your computer, some computers have it. This varies what you want to do. If you want crystal clear audio like me, I would say get a mic setup. It's not expensive. It depends what your budget is, what you're doing. I do a lot of sit down shots. So my microphone, you can see if I show you the screen now, I've added in my microphone. So here you can see the mic moving as I speak. And I'm quiet, nothing. When I speak, it's there. So the microphone's been added. So firstly, I would add mic in first because audio is very important. Then you can do plus in a source and let's do video capture device, which is a camera. So if I do cam, I'll just give it a name so I know what is what. Then I can select from the drop down and select what I would like the camera to be. So if I do OBS, it gets a bit complicated. You can have different cameras. Let's do webcam. If I do OK there. Now, you can add a webcam in one location. If you have it in multiple locations, it sometimes will not show. So that's something with OBS that you need to keep an eye on. If you have multiple sessions of OBS open and you've got, like at the moment, I've got 2 OBSs, because think about this. I'm recording an OBS with an OBS. So I've opened an OBS. I went and clicked on OBS again. It will say you already have an OBS open. You click OK, it opens another instance of OBS. So you have 2 of them. And with the webcam functionality, you can make it nice and easy, because if I go into here and change the camera to a OBS camera, now on this screen, you can see I've made my original OBS into a virtual camera. So everything I do on my OBS session is mirrored onto this with one source, if that makes sense. That's getting a bit complicated, but that's getting a source in. Imagine that's a camera for you and a microphone. So now you have set up a camera and a microphone in OBS. That's there. So here you've got a few options of start recording, and there's a little gear icon here, which you can probably just about see, but you can even do it like file, settings. And in the settings of this, I normally do, let me put a little bit of background music on so we've got something in the background. Yes. So you've got a few tabs here. The main ones I do is, let's go to video, decide what video you want. So in video here, you can see I've got 1920, 1080. That's your base canvas. Depending on your computer, you can record in 1080p, 720p, 4K, whatever you want. Frame rate, if you're doing gaming, do 60. I do a lot of talking, so mine is 30. So I've set up the video there. Then in the recording output, so I'm giving you the main ones. Video, I do the resolution. In output, I will go in and select. I have a graphics card. So I can choose my NVIDIA AMD graphics card. I can choose my onboard computer graphics card, or I can choose my CPU. If you're using a laptop and you don't have a graphics card, you can use your CPU. What that means is when it records, that's what it's using to power that. That's in the streaming mode. In recording, you can select the recording path. So here I've got a D location with raw videos folder. That's where all my videos get saved in when I press record. And that would be a recording ready to use. Basically, that means you can use that recording and upload it onto the internet, YouTube, whatever. So here I'm using a Stream Deck. I don't recommend using a Stream Deck. I've had loads of issues with this one. It's always glitching out. I actually use a keyboard. And this is an extra bonus tip for you. If you go into, let's go to screen. If you go into your file settings, there's actually an option here for hotkeys. Hotkeys means, you see a list of things here that we can do. So here's scenes. Switch to this scene. I could put F1 in here. And whenever I press F1, it would switch to that screen. Switch to scene, I could press F2. And then when you save that, if you do apply and OK, whenever you press F1, watch this blue. See that? F2, F1, F2, F1. So what I did is I got a little numpad, like a wireless numpad. You know what? Let me show you. I can show you this top down. So like basically one of those little ones. You can get those as wireless options. It's like a little pad. And you can use that by making these, turning num lock on and then using these as your keys. So you can just go between those and have a cheaper version of a Stream Deck, which won't glitch out, because when they update the firmware and Stream Deck, they just wipes everything. It's happened to me once, and I looked in the history, it happened before as well. Let's look at the screen capture. Lava cam's going. Screen capture, if you wanted to capture a monitor, for example. So let's go to screen. So if I go in here and go add, and then do a video source, or a, so you can do display capture. I'm going to show you quickly what's on my screen. So if I do display capture and then do OK, let's do OK here. You can pick a display capture. So now you'll see what's going on. So here is what you're seeing. This is what I'm using to record. So if I go to full width, you'll see that's my OBS. Then I've got my notes on the right hand side. I've got a really big monitor here that I'm looking at. So what you can do is make it fancy enough that right now here, for example, if I was doing an intro, hello and thanks for joining me. You can do, oh yeah, today I'm going to be speaking on my mobile phone. And then I can go into a normal screen. Oh, let's have a closer look at that. Oh yeah, what do you think about that? The host, back to the full screen. Let's have a look at this website. Instead of OBS, we can have a website. Oh yeah, we've got today's session where we're going to be, I don't know, doing guest shout outs. You can do story time, and that like little pop-up comes on screen. That's a source. So this gives you a breakdown of the key things you need. Let's summarize. What did I look at there? So I looked at the scenes, the sources. We added a microphone. We added a camera. We looked at recording. We looked at 1080p, 720p. You can change that from there. 30 frames a second, 60 frames a second. We looked at the path where this file will go into, the recorded file, and then that recorded file can then be used for YouTube. Or now that the video and audio are linked together, you've got one file which you can edit if you want to. You'll put that in like something like CapCut and add a bit of effects and make it a bit more snazzy, but you're saving some time, making your workflow a little bit better. I do this for our TikTok live stream where I'm live streaming, and we have snack time, we have a game time, we have story time. There's like loads of little elements that we add into it. When you have special guests, we have thank you for like when you give us gifts. So that is a quick review and a look at OBS and how to set it up. I'll link it to some more videos here how you can use OBS to eliminate the need for video editing.